arthritis, high cholesterol, obesity. Cancer is also listed, even though 5% of cancer is hereditary. Only 5% of cancer is hereditary. A major part of it is lifestyle and other environmental factors.
What's the name of the slide?
So, it's not in your genes. Remember, lifestyle diseases are not in your genes. You are prone to this if your parents cook like my mother, don't cook that way, is as if you can't cook. So you have adopted these bad habits from your parents. You start cooking that way, so you expose yourself to this condition. And that's why they are called lifestyle diseases. Now, because they are lifestyle diseases, they can be reversed. Amen? And that's why God gave the Seventh-day Adventist Church the health reform message. You notice I didn't say the vegetarian message? Because reversing diseases takes in more than just a change in diet or diet reform. It's a holistic approach. When you want to reverse or get rid of any disease condition, you have to approach it holistically. It takes in the 8 modalities that God has given to us. These 8 laws actually governs or guide the living machinery that God has given us. When David looked at this beautiful structure that God made, all he could say was that, I am fearfully and what? Wonderfully made. No, you look at one of the best computers, cannot be compared with the human brain, don't it? Can't catch up, still can't catch up. And yet they say that the brightest or the most brilliant of us is only using 5% of our brain. What happened to the other 95%? Still unused. So we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Now these 8 laws, let's just go through them quickly, because I'm going to look at how you can use the 8 laws to reverse high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, arthritis, diabetes, type 2 diabetes we're talking about now. Type 1 is a challenge, but we find out that when you use these laws, they actually help even type 1, people with type 1 diabetes, insulin dependent. Now, I want to use the acronym God's Plan. The church uses one called Celebration, the World Church. Now, I'm going to deal with the one called God's Plan, or what we call, you have the New Start, so you have several acronyms. You have New Start, God's Plan, Recreation, and these other acronyms. But I prefer this one because it begins with God. New Start ends with God, yes. I believe that without God you can't keep any of the laws. Amen? You cannot obey any of the health laws without God. Without God I can't do anything. So, the first one is God's plan. Godly trust. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will what? Direct your path. Now, trust in God will prevent us from getting lifestyle diseases. Because if you trust God, you're going to want to obey him. Now, the hallmark of health is obedience. God will not work a miracle to save you if you are disobedient to the laws that govern your being. So you need to be careful of how you pray for sick people. The prophet of the Lord says not every sick person you must pray for. Did you know that? If the person is willingly going against the laws that govern the body, you could pray till the stars come down. God will not move to work a miracle to serve that person, to save that person. The person must first see their need, surrender, ask God to forgive them, and make that right about turn. And start obeying. Then God will intervene and heal and restore according to his will. Because it's not every sick person will be healed. Some people, God will have to let them die with the condition so that they can be saved. But once they experience spiritual healing, when Jesus comes again, they'll have a new body. So every sick person must experience spiritual healing. And it's on this, it's to find this here now. Okay. But it's small here. Very small. Problem. Disease and treatment. Feature. I want to find. Okay. So, imagine having a life-threatening disease that could take life suddenly without any warning. But the problem is, you are one of the million who don't know that they have it. So high blood pressure or hypertension is one of the most widespread health problems of the 21st century. So around the world, over 600 million people are affected by this disease. Over how many? 6 million. And 3 million of these, half of this amount, die every year from complications of high blood pressure. In North America alone, it is estimated that every third adult has high blood pressure. So every third person in North America has high blood pressure. Now, in the US, 50% of those over the age of 40 and 70% of those over the age of 65 have it. Now, because high blood pressure often has no symptoms, half of those who have it don't even know that they have it. And those who do know often neglect treatment because they feel fine. Only 1 out of 8 with the condition has their blood pressure under control. Now, when in Jamaica, well, right around when you are diagnosed with high blood pressure, you are given hypertensive medication. And many of these medications are calcium blockers. Now, these calcium blockers have side effects. One of the main side effects is that it damages the heart. So we find out on the death certificate of most people who have high blood pressure and diabetes, the cause of death is heart failure. Because one of the side effects of the high blood pressure medication is that it damages the heart. Long usage of it damages the heart. And now another side effect of the high blood pressure medication is high blood pressure. So you're taking it for high blood pressure, yet it causes high blood pressure. So the patient is wondering, how comes with upon the medication and my pressure still high? That's one side effect of it. All right? So the high blood pressure medication cannot and will not cure high blood pressure. There's not one pharmacist or one doctor in the world who can tell you that. What it does, it helps to control it. Now, some of you, because you are indisciplined and stubborn and don't want to change your lifestyle, you'll have to live on the medication for the rest of your life. And then the side effects of the medication kill you. But if you are willing to change, in a matter of 3 weeks, you can be off your medication. Isn't that wonderful? So God has a health plan for every man. But remember that the hallmark of health is what? Obedience. Obedience to what? Exodus 15:26. Let me paraphrase. If you obey my laws and keep my statutes and all my commandments, none of these diseases that come upon the Egyptian will do what? Come upon you. And the last line in that verse is, for I am the Lord that do what? I am the Lord that healeth thee. So who does the healing? It's God. So many times we give the herbs the credit, and we give the doctors the credit. The doctor in good, so in good thing can done. And aloe vera good, and moringa good, and moringa good. But we forget to recall that it is God who heals. So who should get the praise? It's not Dr. Reeves, it's not Dr. Dennis, or Dr. Hamilton, or whosoever the doctor is. It is God who heals. We are just instruments in the hands of God. Now, for you to be cured, you must obey the laws of health. It's very, very important. Now, how can we actually reverse high blood pressure? Now, is having just a little high blood pressure really of much significance? No, listen to this. Those with high blood pressure are 8 times more likely to suffer a stroke. Did you know that? And they are 3 times more likely to have a heart attack. And 5 times more likely to develop heart failure than people with normal pressure. So having just a little pressure is not good. Now, persistent high blood pressure can also lead to irreversible damage of the kidneys, pancreas, and the retina of the eye. So high blood pressure can damage your kidneys, that you have to go on machine, yes? And it damages the retina of your eye and you can go blind. And it damages the delicate tissues and muscles of the heart and you can develop a heart attack. So, hypertension is known as a silent killer, I said earlier, but slowly and silently it can destroy vital organs of the body without a person knowing it. Unfortunately for many, the first sign is often a stroke or a sudden heart attack. For some, the first sign may also be their last. Now, the nursing homes and cemeteries are filled with many people who had just a little high blood pressure. Do you have high blood pressure? Let me see the hands of those who are suffering from this condition. Be honest. High blood pressure. Now, to answer this question, you must first know what blood pressure is. Can you define what blood pressure is? All of you who have this condition? No. Blood pressure is the pressure of the blood inside the heart and the blood vessels. Now, the higher the number is the pressure. Now, the higher number is the pressure while the heart is pumping. That's the top number. That's the pressure while the heart is pumping. Now, the lower number is the pressure while the heart is what? Resting or relaxed. No. Or when the heart is resting between beats. Now, hypertension is defined as having a consistent blood pressure of 140/90 or above. Now, if you come, say we have in a clinic here, and you walk from very far, and you think you were late, and you were walking briskly, and you came and check your pressure immediately, it's going to be high. And you run down, oh Lord, me have high blood pressure. By right, the health care professional should allow you to rest for at least half an hour before checking that pressure. Now, if you get a consistent reading several times of 140 over 90, you may be diagnosed with high blood pressure. But please do not self-diagnose. Go to your medical doctor. Get all the necessary diagnostic tests done and get a proper diagnosis before going on a treatment plan. Are you hearing me? Do not self-diagnose. Who must diagnose you? A medical doctor, not even a naturopathic doctor. Yes, the age, it goes with age, and then body mass again is another contributing factor. Now, the ideal level is when the blood pressure is kept below 120. That's the top one. You want it to be 120 or below. You got that? Now the bottom one should be what now? So it shouldn't pass 85. So it can go as low as what? 70. And it depends on your age again, activity level and all of that. Athletes are known to, have a consistent pressure. So the higher the numbers, the greater the risk. The higher the number, the greater the risk. Now somebody who has a reading of say 200 plus, you know that person is not very far away from a what? A stroke. Now at the Lifestyle Center, we'll get people like this to get down their pressure quickly. We have to give them a garlic enema. Infuse the garlic, strain it, and put it in an enema bag, insert the tip, and give them a retention enema, the garlic. And within 5 minutes, it's done. Don't try it. It must be supervised, all right, by a health professional. That's one way we get it done fast, so the person won't get a stroke, all right? Now, some people want their low blood pressure is a problem, around 90 over 50. No, the answer is no. Just as long as the individual is feeling well. If it goes too low, it can be dangerous, right? Now, as long as the individual is, some people's low pressure is their normal pressure. It's just natural, right? Now, some when they get very low, they get what? Dizzy and pass out. No, that needs to be regulated. No, the following lifestyle factors have been proven repeatedly to increase a person's risk of getting high blood pressure. One, contributing factors now. A deficiency in magnesium can cause a person to develop high blood pressure. Now, magnesium helps to regulate the sodium, calcium in the body. Now, when you are low in magnesium, you are at risk for developing high blood pressure. Now, what are some of the foods you find magnesium in? All dark green leafy vegetables. That's what you don't like. Some of you only eat vegetables on Sunday, but during the rest of the week, nothing in the plate. And you just garnish the plate with it for it to look nice. On Sunday and maybe Sabbath, and then it goes in the dog bin. And that's why the dog's big and strong. By the way, you ever see the dogs at the clinic waiting to get high blood pressure medication? Or the cow waiting to get insulin? Or the goat? Because they eat what God instructed them to eat. But the human nature is very what? We are very disobedient and like to have our own way. They stick to the diet that God gave them. And what science is now showing, even the cats, when they stick to their species of milk, they are okay. But when we start giving them cow's milk, the scientists are saying that the cats get sick. And of all the species of animals, humans are the only one that cross over and drink the milk of other species. And that's why one of the main contributing factor to asthma, sinusitis, allergies, eczema. The body cannot digest cow's milk. So the body tries to get rid of it through the form of mucus. Through the skin in the form of eczema. In the lungs, in mucus, asthma. In the sinuses, mucus, sinusitis. Are we still drinking it? Because cow's milk protein is too high for the human body. When a cow is born, in a few minutes it starts jumping up and down, the calf, don't it? And it starts see. When a human baby is born, how long it takes him to start walk? 8 months to a year, don't it? But the calf starts to jump up and down almost immediately because of the high protein in the milk, the cow's milk. Now that protein is too high for the human body, so it overwhelms the kidneys and the liver. And it has the same molecular structure as the beta cells in the pancreas. So when you drink cow's milk, it confuses the immune system. And sometimes these white blood cells attack the pancreas, thinking that they are invaders, and destroy the pancreas, and this child develop what? Type 1 what? Diabetes. Now there are, just about 10 years ago, research shows that the consumption of cow's milk is now causing type 2 diabetes. Now this is one contributing factor to diabetes, And the same thing with high blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, cheese is loaded with sodium. Avoid cheese. The body cannot digest cheese. Take it out of your diet. Now salt, sodium, has a way of holding on to water in your tissues. Have you ever forget to close your salt pan and the next morning you find out that it's wet and soggy? Salt does the very same thing in your tissue. It holds on to water, and when that happens, it elevates the pressure. That's why we always tell people who have high blood pressure to lower their what? Salt intake. To how much? Half of a teaspoon per day. For the entire day, half of a teaspoon. I mean half teaspoon every time you cook. So each time you cook 3 times per day, put half teaspoon in the pot. That will be a what? 1.5 teaspoon. That's too much. Now in fact, 1 teaspoon of salt per day is 16 times more than what the body needs for the day. Why? Because all your fresh fruits and vegetables are rich in natural sodium. So if you're cooking soup, you don't need to put any salt. Not even Himalayan salt. All you need to do is to cut up some celery in it. Celery is very rich in natural sodium. Or parsley. You don't need no added salt when you do that. All right? So those with high blood pressure, watch your intake of salt. 2, obesity is another contributing factor. Every pound of fat you put on requires an extra mile of blood vessel. So, say your BMI should be 24. Say 18, 19 to 24. And it's now 35. So you should be weighing 135 pounds, and you are now weighing 155. Every extra pound you put on over your normal weight, the body has to find 1 mile of blood vessel to feed that extra pound of fat. What is going to happen to your heart after a while? It's going to overwork. You notice when you have high blood pressure, the palpitation. And so, many of the times, the hypertensive patient overwork their poor little heart until it fails. Heart failure. Cause of death, heart failure. And it takes years for it to happen. Disease does not come overnight. Now, when you abuse your health when you are teenagers, preteen teenagers, the disease usually come on when you're about 37, 38. It's not the same day leaf drop in water rotten. It takes years. For example, cancer. We're not talking about cancer now. Cancer, when you are diagnosed with cancer, it takes 8 to 10, you've had it 8 to 10 years before diagnosis. Did you know that? It doesn't happen overnight. It takes about 8 to 10 years for the cancer to elevate, for it to be picked up by a tissue biopsy or a cancer marker test. It has to reach a certain elevation level in your body to be picked up. So you can have cancer and you do the diagnostic test and it's not picked up because it doesn't reach that level as yet. All right? So it's very, very important to adhere to these laws that God has given us to govern the living machinery. So obesity, for this reason, people 20% or more overweight are 5 times more likely to have hypertension than are people of normal weight. So ensure that you keep yourself within the normal weight. And one way you can stop this is to stop eating after the sunset. All the metabolic processes in your body slows down at sunset. There's a rhythm, a clock that God puts in our body called the circadian rhythm. It's a built-in clock. But our unhealthy lifestyle can mess up this clock. But obeying the laws of health, with the help of God, you can reset this clock. So we shouldn't eat after sunset. Circulation slows down. Digestion slows down. All the metabolic processes in your body slows down at sunset. When you go home last night, some of you leave here, you go home and eat chicken and dumpling and yam. Don't it? And this morning you feel like a zombie. Don't it? Late eaters never have the appetite for early breakfast. 10:30, 11:30, them time they get hungry. When you eat late, that food will not digest. Heartburn, acid reflux, abdominal distension. You start putting on tires and you develop a condition called Dunlap disease. What is Dunlap disease? D-U-N-L-A-P. What's that? When your belly start lapping over your belt. It's a disease condition, you know. Late eating can cause this because when you eat late, it's not digested and then the body holds on to the fat. And then after a while you find out that these places start getting fat. And you go to the gym and pay much money, but you're still eating late. You won't get rid of it. So, discipline. Paul says, I bring this body under what? Subjection. The mind control it. But many of us, we allow the body to control the mind. Lord, me feel hungry and me feel peckish. And guess what? Because we eat so often, at times the digestive system gets so overwhelmed, tired, that it feels like hunger pangs. So you ever eat like half an hour ago and you feel hungry and you say, oh, me just don't eat and me hungry so already. It's not hunger, you know. The digestive system is overworked and it feels like you're hungry. All you need is a glass of water. Where you run and go nibble on some peanuts, piece of cake, and then the food that you eat takes 5 hours to digest. If you eat meat and you fry it and you cook it with oil, it takes 8 to 10 hours to be digested. Because fat of all food molecules takes the longest to be digested. In fact, fats cannot be digested. It's emulsified, right? So when fat takes about 8 to 10 hours. So by right, you should wait 8 to 10 hours before you eat again. But some of you say that dead, don't it? Some of you say you prefer go to bed with a hungry stomach. You prefer dead with a hungry belly. Then how you know your belly full or even if you die? And some of you say before good food waste make what? Belly bust. So we don't have no discipline at all. It takes the power of God. And just the other day, just maybe about 3 years ago, I realized that temperance is a fruit of the Spirit. The human nature cannot be temperate. It takes the Spirit of God to master the human nature. So we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but it takes the Spirit of God for us to master this. So obesity, another thing that will make you get overweight is eating a lot of sugary stuff. It's on the radio now. Adventists should be running with this years ago. Now the Ministry of Health is at the forefront, and we are behind lagging. We lose our tail. We should be the head, but we turn tail, a fan fly. Ministry of Health is now, you see the ads on the television. Cut out the sugary drinks and drink what? Water. So when you have lunch today, you shouldn't have no turbo drinks mix and quench shade and shackleberry. You should have the igloo packed with room temperature what? Water. Another bad thing for hypertensive is that they drink while they are eating. And when you do that, the food will not digest, because God has placed certain laws within our cells upon every nerve and every tissue. And these cells obey the will of God. You drink at least half an hour, the best 1 hour before you have your meal, or 2 hours after you eat. You must drink even water. Because you need to drink your liquids on empty stomach. 2 hours after you eat your meal, the food leaves the stomach into the small intestines. That's the time you should drink your liquids. But you have developed this bad habit. Lord, if me not drink, me I got choke. You know why? Because you are not chewing the food properly. You cut and swallow. You cut the dumpling and you can feel it and move slowly and scrape your chest and go down, don't it? And then it stop and block her, and then you do so. And it don't work, you ask somebody to come knock your back. And if that don't work, you bite off a bigger piece of dumpling to help push that down. And we're still not learning. Chew your solid until it becomes what? Liquid before you swallow. So you're eating a piece of yam, you chew it until it becomes sweet. Because remember, the digestion of cooked starch begins where? In the mouth. So when it tastes sweet, that salivary amylase start working upon the starch, the cooked starch. So digestion of cooked starch begins in the mouth. So you chew your food until the solid, until it becomes liquid before you swallow. So don't eat in between meals. Do not drink while you are eating, and do not eat late at night. Your last meal of the day should be 4 to 5 hours before bedtime, and bedtime should be what? 9 o'clock. Hello? Why 9 o'clock? There's a hormone that the body secretes every night called melatonin. The body secretes it at 10 o'clock. Starts to secreting melatonin at 10 o'clock. Now, this is the hormone that heals your body while you sleep. It helps to repair your joints, repair your nervous system, and your tissues. So God has given us 4 hours of free secretions of melatonin, 10 to 2. But the thing is, for you to get the full dosage of melatonin, you must be in bed before 10 and you must sleep in total darkness. Because most of the melatonin is absorbed by the pupil of your eye. So if, like your phone lights, your laptop light, your TV light will prevent you from absorbing the amount of melatonin that you need. Now, when your body becomes deficient in melatonin, what happens? You become a nervous wreck. You become very miserable. Husband start, who man know you get so miserable? Your puss and dog start run from you. The children start getting afraid of you. Because your body becomes deficient in melatonin. You go to the doctor prescribes what we call sleeping tablets. And guess what is in the sleeping tablets? Synthetic melatonin, the one that the body cannot absorb. The body secretes organic melatonin, but the sleeping tablets have inorganic melatonin that the body cannot absorb. So it becomes a poison to the system. And so you get side effects from it. You see, all these unhealthy habits that we have fostered over the years that cause us to get sick. And then when we get sick now, we send message to Elder Wright. Please tell the church to pray for me. And then you're in the midst of divine service, you know, stop and I pray for Brother Reeves. And God not hear that they prayer then.
You can say something about your practice. They can see afterward.
All right. So salt intake, obesity, and we talk about melatonin. And guess what? Let me share something else. When the sun hits your skin in the day, your body secretes a hormone called serotonin. The sunshine hits your skin, serotonin is secreted. Now when the sun sets, the body starts to convert serotonin to melatonin. And at 10 o'clock, the body secretes the melatonin. So you need this very important hormone to heal you while you sleep. It restores your body, regenerate your body. So when you go to bed late, when you have social late and social finish all 2, 3 o'clock, and your boso is the best social ever, and your body suffer and God is displeased. Even newborn babies need to sleep in the dark. Newborn babies who sleep with night light is the most miserable baby. Babies that sleep in the dark sleep like a newborn baby. So even newborn babies need their melatonin. That's how God fashioned us. Now, half of our salt intake comes from processed food. Not what we actually put in a pot. The saltfish, the flash out, the mackerel, the bully beef, the sardine, all of these are high in sodium. So be careful of the processed foods that you're eating. Those who have high blood pressure and diabetes. Be careful. Now, smoking is another problem. Smoking causes the blood to become viscous, thick, and slows down the movement of the blood in your blood vessels. And after a while, the person with diabetes or high blood pressure will develop poor circulation. That's one contributing factor. How do you know if you have poor circulation? When you feel numbness or a tingling sensation in your hands and feet. Numb, tingling sensation. That's poor circulation. When you feel a crawling sensation like ants crawling, that's nerves damage. That's when your nerves are affected. So numbness, tingling sensation in hands and feet. Now one principle or laws of health that God has given to us is a dress reform. Amen? Now I have a presentation, the physiology of dress. We don't talk about the length and so forth. How dressing can affect your health. There are some doctors in the US who only teach their patient how to dress modestly, and it ward off all sorts of diseases. Asthma, allergies, sinusitis, bronchitis, all of these conditions. So when you dress and leave the back of your lungs exposed to the assault of the atmosphere, whether it's very cold or hot, the chest is usually well covered. So there's a congestion of blood here, and the dress is short, or the men have on the shorts. So the extremities are not covered. So there's a congestion of blood here, and there's not even distribution of blood going down to the extremities. It's going to affect you in the long run. So dress reform is something that we must adhere to as well. And some of you dress your little daughters just like that. And when they get, say, about 20 or so, they get sick. Mothers, it's not every fashion you must follow. And husband, it's not every fashion you must follow. Because men are very fashion trendy nowadays, just like women. All right? So we can't throw the stones in the woman on the side of the fence anymore. You have to throw it on both sides. Now, alcohol and caffeine is another contributing factor to high blood pressure. Alcohol, well, we are Seventh-day Adventists, so we don't consume alcohol, right? Christmas is coming, so we don't put any red wine or stuff in our cake. Amen? We're using non-alcoholic. Amen? And you don't put it in your sorrel either. I remember some time ago I went to a church sister house and she gave me a piece of cake. And trust me, I couldn't find the gate to go back home. Strong. Rum. The sorrel strong. You need to avoid this. 1 to 2 ounces of alcohol will raise your blood pressure up to 8 points. Remember that. And alcohol also destroys brain cells. Of all the organs in the body, the brain is the only organ that does not reproduce cells. You're born with a set amount, that's what you stay with until you die. All the other organs reproduce. Cells die, new ones come on. The brain does not do that. An ounce of alcohol, they say, I don't remember how much million brain cells it killed, just 1 ounce. Our body is a temple of God, and God said, if you destroy this temple, I will destroy you. No, lifestyle diseases can be prevented. High blood pressure can be prevented, and because of ignorance over the years, you have developed it. It can be reversed. If you obey God and trust Him, follow His laws of health, and trust God, God can heal you. You believe that? All right? Now, another thing that causes high blood pressure is plugged arteries. What causes? Cholesterol. You do not get cholesterol from plant-based food. Ackee and avocado pear does not give cholesterol. Amen? They are good fats, but you must be moderate. So in pear season, don't eat 3 pear with 1 bulla. For heaven's sake, this is not healthy, because this can raise your triglyceride level. If your triglyceride goes up, it is just as dangerous as high cholesterol that can give you a heart attack and a stroke. So when you do your blood profile, check on your triglyceride and your complete cholesterol and your LDL and your HDL. Now, the type of cholesterol that is bad for us is called what? LDL or HDL? Huh? HDL? Which is the bad cholesterol? Low density lipoprotein. This cholesterol brings it brings cholesterol to the arteries and block it. Now the HCl remove cholesterol away from the arteries. Now your body makes enough cholesterol that you need per day. In fact, the liver makes up to 1,500 milligrams of cholesterol per day from the fats that you eat. So when you eat your nuts and your ackee and your avocado and all these grains and seeds that have oils in it, the body, the liver makes cholesterol from that, which is the HDL cholesterol, which is the good cholesterol. This is a cholesterol you want to be high, because it removes cholesterol from the arteries. Now, when you eat flesh food, one egg has in 1,900 milligrams of cholesterol. Some of you eating eggs, eat all 3 one time. When you're baking cake, you put all 6 in one cake. Remember, one egg has in how much? You put 6 eggs in a cake. And then you're eating the cake, a slice of cake. And when you're eating cake, it's not a thin one. You want the biggest slice. And then you're drinking some alcoholic beverage with that. You know what is going to happen after a while? And then you inhale in second-hand smoke, which is more dangerous than first-hand smoke. At least the man who is smoking is letting out some. But you inhale everything. That's why it's more dangerous. All right? So, you want to avoid alcohol, and 1 cup of coffee, 8 ounces of coffee, will raise your blood pressure up to 8 points for 24 hours. Oh, you don't drink coffee, but you eat chocolate bars. Don't it? When you go to KFC, you get free refills. Every soda has caffeine in it. Your ginger beer, your champagne, your cola, Pepsi, all of these having caffeine. Your bag juice, caffeine. So in school give holiday, you buy the big bags and put them in the freezer for the children. Have mercy. So caffeine, 1 cup of coffee, raises your blood pressure up to 8 points for 24 hours. Chocolate bars, Valentine. Some of you are addicted to chocolate because of the caffeine content that is in. It's the caffeine that you get addicted to. It's a drug, and it causes your heart to palpitate, tachycardia, beat fast. Caffeine is not good for your health. Tea bag, Tetley tea, caffeine. Lucozade, caffeine. Arizona, caffeine. You know the big thing as Arizona where you love? That's caffeine. Red Bull, caffeine. And for heaven's sake, you are made in the image of God, and you see something on a tin mark, boom. And you take God's money, go buy, boom. That's caffeine. So you want to avoid all of these if you have what? High blood pressure. And if you don't have high blood pressure, you stay away from it. So you touch not, taste not, nor handle not. That's temperance. Moderate use of what is good, and total abstinence from that which is bad for you. All right? So, cholesterol plug your arteries. Now, what are some of the steps you can take in lowering and reversing high blood pressure? 1, exercise. Consistently. Exodus 15:26 says, diligent. You use the word diligent, means to be consistent. Most of us are not consistent in obeying the laws of health. A lot of vegetarians are just vegetarians, but they are not health reformers. They are health deformers. So you need to exercise consistently every day. For at least those with high blood pressure need to exercise for at least 1 hour every day. And the best form of exercise is what? Brisk walking. All the body organs in the body benefit from walking. And that's why God make us as walking creatures. God bless us and we get a car, we don't walk anymore. Park the car and walk. So exercise, physical exercise is known to lower blood pressure. At the Lifestyle Center, all our patients have to get up in the morning and what? Exercise. And those who are bedridden, we give them what we call massage, which is passive exercise. All right? Now, reducing stress is also very essential. Simple following all the elements of a healthy lifestyle enhances one's ability to deal with life stressors. You cannot get rid of stress, but you can manage stress. Proverbs 17:22. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit do what? Remorse, hatred, unforgiveness, discontentment. All of these do what? It literally affect the bone marrow. So when you're angry, when you're sad, when you're distressed, when you hate somebody and you have an unforgiving spirit, the blood vessels in the bone marrow constrict, not letting out enough red blood cells. Now the bone marrow makes all of the red blood cells and makes most of the white blood cells. So when there's a constriction of the blood vessels in the bone marrow, you're not getting out enough red blood cells. So when you get angry, that's why you have shortness of breath. I can kill him. Because there's not enough oxygen, not enough red blood cells. I remember red blood cells carries oxygen on its surface. So you experience shortness of breath. It also carries nutrients. So after a while, you start suffering from deficiency of certain nutrients in your body. And also, that's proven at Johns Hopkins University that 5 minutes of anger shuts down your immune system for 6 hours. Let that soak a little. Wives, when your husband forget your anniversary and your birthday, how do you respond? And not talk to you, huh? You're upset. And within a week, he have to carry go to hospital, don't he? The one who holds the grudge and the hatred and the remorse is the one who suffers. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine. When you're happy, your body produces happy hormones, endorphins that boost the immune system. When you're sad and discontented, constriction of the blood vessels lowers the immune system. So if you go through a long period of stress, you can develop high blood pressure, diabetes, and cancer. So stress alone can cause you to develop, long periods of stress can cause you to develop cancer, high blood pressure, and diabetes, and many other disease conditions. So you see why it's important to trust God? When you trust God, you don't worry, don't it? And if problems arise in your family or in your relationship or in your job or at church, what you do? Find solutions. There are some people in the world who are multi-billionaires because they create problems and find a solution and sell the solution. So you don't have a job. We have to sit down and worry. Find a solution. Don't it? If you don't employ by somebody and wear tall heel boot and handbag over your shoulder, you feel like you're not worthwhile. You can stay at home and make money. Hello? That's why I need to do the medical missionary training. We teach people how to make money at home. So sign up for it. Talk to Elder Wright about that. So tension and stress and depression, all of this will cause high blood pressure. And there are some more intricacies to this, intricate matters to this. You can talk to me after because of time constraint. I'm not able to go in all the details of how to actually reverse high blood pressure. But the program that we have reverses high blood pressure in 3 weeks. The program that we have for type 2 diabetes reverses type 2 diabetes in 12 weeks. That's 3 months. You're off your metformin, insulin, whatever, in 3 months if you are diligent and consistent in following the program. The same thing with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity. They can be reversed. It takes discipline, hard work, and complete trust in God. Now, I was also asked to talk a little about prostate. Now, this is going to take, I don't know how I'm going to take just a few minutes to deal with this. But one of the main, Jamaica is known to be very excessive in whatever we do. We always go overboard, don't it? So, Jamaica is known to have the most bar per capita than any other country in the world. We have the most churches per capita than any other country in the world. We have the most murder per capita than any other country in the world. And we have the most prostate cancer in men than any other country per capita in the world. Now we talk about prostate enlargement. Let me quickly look at some of the contributing factors. One, that is plaguing us, sex has become a god among us as Seventh-day Adventists. Amen? Amen? All right, they never hear me. Sex has become a god. That we start marrying for sex. And as soon as the feeling goes, we divorce. So a lot of the relationships are based on sex. Sex is a good thing. It was created by God. But even in sex, we must be moderate. Amen? You cannot do sex. Even when you're dead and gone, sex is still on the throne. No, a man can never outdo a woman in sex. Have a witness in the house? You'll die trying. A man uses more energy in sex than a female. In fact, when a man has sex and ejaculates, have an orgasm, he loses 10 miles of energy. And that's why your poor husband drop asleep and start snore. And the wife there, just ready to start, and the man a draw bungie. 10 miles of energy him lose. With each ejaculation, 10 miles of energy. So imagine a man have sex 3 times for the day and ejaculate. 30 miles gone. You ever run a 30 miles, run for 30 miles yet? Poor man. And so the women are the one who set the standard in society. And so you say you don't want a 1 minute man, you want a man who can stand panny long. And so the man trying to live up to your esteem, your standard, and trying to go for 1-2 hours, when God made the body to have sex between 15 minutes to 30 minutes. That's the duration, you know. But we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. And the man start, if you want to get rich overnight in Jamaica, blend up some things and say it helps you in the bedroom. And it sell like trouble. Even the little boys one breast wanted to drink. So we find out that men start taking things now to compensate for their lack in the bedroom. Now, too much sex drains the prostate gland of zinc. Each time the man ejaculates, he loses zinc, up to 15 milligrams of zinc. Now, there are 2 organs in the body that uses a lot of zinc. The one that uses the most is the brain. Next is the prostate. Now, when the prostate gland becomes deficient in zinc, it starts to get enlarged. That's one contributing factor. There are others. Now, the body tried to make up for this lack by pulling zinc from the brain to make up for the deficiency in the prostate. But the body keep pulling zinc from the brain, and the brain becomes deficient in zinc, the man goes mad. And that's one reason why we have more mad men than mad women. So even if you're not having sex and you're masturbating and you have an orgasm, you still can develop enlarged prostate. And in the medical world, it is known that too much sex causes mental disease or mental disorder. And that's why you have so many men in the grave and so many widows. So ladies, encourage your husband. In fact, the body takes 3 days to replenish zinc to the prostate. Now, how many days make a week? Now, if the body takes 3 days to replenish zinc to the prostate, how many times per week should a married man be having sex? Tell Jamaican man that, them chop you up. Tell men in the church that they get angry with you. 2 times per week. Married men. But some of you go once every weekday and twice or thrice on weekend or Sundays. The ladies, your wife don't have a prostate gland. You have. So you protect it. Now, the richest source of natural zinc on planet Earth is raw pumpkin seed. Raw pumpkin seed. So the man should have a handful of raw pumpkin seed every day. You can put it in your shake or smoothie. A little oats, a ripe banana, and some pumpkin seed with some almond milk, soy milk, or coconut milk, and blend it up and make a nice shake with some bee pollen in it. Bee pollen, very good. You're building your husband when you do that. So don't give him no bag juice or true juice. Give him a nice shake or punch. And this will help to protect his prostate. Chia seed is also rich in omega fatty acid and zinc, and flax seed. All of these seeds are good. Walnuts and popcorn is very high in zinc. This is very good for the prostate gland. All right, now another thing that can affect the prostate gland is urine retention. You hold your urine. Men, when nature calls, no matter what you're doing, if you're preaching a sermon, find a hymn with the longest verses, like 5 stanzas, and cry excuse and go use the bathroom and come back. It happened to me once in Montego Bay Church. Just as they introduced me to go up to the pulpit, nature calls. I found a hymn with 5 stanzas. I said, brethren, sing it prayerfully. And I stress it. I stressed it prayerfully. And I went and used the bathroom, and I came back on the last stanza and joined in with them. And presented. Ladies do that too. Hold the urine. And that's why most of you defecate only 1 time per day when you should be going 3 times per day. Don't hold the urine. Men, when you hold the urine, it builds up bacteria. The bacteria goes up. And remember, the prostate gland is very close to the rectum. So when you are constipated, all that toxins can affect the prostate gland. The bacteria build up in the urine, goes up to the urethra, into the kidney, and you develop kidney infection, bladder infection, and end up on dialysis machine. So obeying the 8 laws of health will protect you. God gave us them. It's our manual, the Bible. All these 8 laws are found in the Bible. And that's our guide. Now God says, if you are willing and obedient, you will eat of the fruit of the land. The hallmark of health is what? Obedience. God cannot cure you if you are disobedient. So let's look at the 8 laws now. Godly trust. Open air. Need oxygen. Deep breathing is very important. Daily exercise. Sunshine. Plenty of rest. At least 8 hours of rest every night. And we should be in bed by 9 o'clock. The hours of sleep before 12 doubles. So if you go to bed 8 o'clock, by 12 o'clock you have 8 hours of sleep. That's why people go to bed early, wake up about 1:30, 2:30 and can't go back to sleep. Your body is fully rested. That's time you get up and do your assignment, your homework and house chores and have your private time with God. And so daily exercise, plenty of rest, abstemiousness are always temperate, and nutrition. A balanced diet is very, very important. Not just callaloo and Vegemins every day. You need a balanced diet in its right proportion, all the nutrients in its right proportion. And then God will step in, intervene, and restore you. If you don't have the condition, He will preserve you and maintain you. Thank you very much. Now, if you have any other questions on prostate, we have programs for prostate that reverse prostate enlargement in 3 months. Simple procedures that you follow, and in 3 months, you're off your injection and your medication in just 3 months by following God's plan. So if you want any more information, you can see me in the auditorium. And we, as Elder said earlier, we operate a lifestyle center in Mandeville going 15 years now. We take people from all over the world, Canada, England, US, all over, come here. I specialize in oncology, so I treat cancer without drugs. And we have had cases, stage 4, that God has healed completely. From cancer, healed diabetes, and it is God who does the healing. It is not us. We just encourage people, put them on God's program, and pray with them, and do all the necessary things, and God heal them according to His will. So, if you need our services, you can talk to us. Thank you very much.
Could you put your hands together, please? All right, we want to thank Dr. Reeves very much for that very insightful information. We're out of time, so unfortunately we won't be able to take any questions. But as he said, can see him. All right, it's all right. Pastor Cunningham, are you ready with some instructions for what happens? All right, he's coming regarding the visit. Are you coming, Elder? No. I didn't hear what he said at all.